We talked about the alarming number of mentally ill people who commit suicide in the United States. In America alone, more than 30,000 people a year take their own lives.
And the study shows that suicide rates is much higher among the elderly.
Mental disorders in older people can go undiagnosed or can even fail to be reported because they may appear simply to be common signs of aging. Hi, I'm Sherry Green.
And I'm James Green. The Volunteer Spotlight for this week focuses on mental health of our elderly.
Mental health can affect anyone at any age, and that includes the elderly. Here to shed more light on the mental health in the aging population is Dr. Radha Kambhampati from Baylor Garland. Welcome, Dr. K. Tell me your last name.
Dr. Kambhampati.
Kambhampati.
Come on and party.
Come on and party. Well, see, listen, with an
that makes it easier, isn't it?
You are the medical director of a very specifically new Baylor Garland Hospital that has beds for the elderly who are facing mental illness.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. This is a 10-bed unit specifically geared towards people over 65 years of age and who are suffering from a psychiatric disorder.
Okay, this is such a broad thing.
Yes.
Like, don't we all, when we age, don't we go through things that we would call mental disorders, like fear of dying, like not feeling good, having pain all the time?
Yes.
And so, do we call that a disorder or just the natural process of growing old?
Well, there's a difference between having symptoms and having a disorder. A disorder is disabling. Having symptoms is not necessarily disabling. The ones you mentioned, like some anxiety about aging and fear of death, that's all part of natural aging process.
Yes.
But when it becomes disabling to a point where you quit eating, you start losing weight, you don't sleep at night, perhaps even start to hallucinate, and start losing your memory function, those are the points where you need some professional help, and this particular unit is geared towards that particular category.
And is this unit geared toward counseling, perhaps psychiatric or spiritual counseling, as well as medication?
Yes, this unit is unique in the sense that we have a team of doctors, both internal medicine as well as psychiatric physicians and a psychologist on board. So going back a little bit, elderly population typically have at least one or two medical illnesses. And we do not have good units in the DFW area where you can address both medical issues as well as psychiatric issues.
Oh, we don't have that.
Not many. I mean, at least not that I know of. But we are gearing towards addressing that group of people where, for example, say you have a patient with congestive heart failure and severe depression. Now, where would the patient go right now? It's very difficult to find a unit. So
you could go to the unit that could address the
CHF, congestive heart failure,
but not necessarily the mental anguish.
Exactly. So this is a unit where we have a team of internists and hospitalists who are available round the clock to address the medical issues, and the psychiatric part is taken care of by the psychiatrist.
Then am I right in assuming that if we're going to have the medical issues, but if we can keep our mental health as well and good as it can be, we can still enjoy dancing sometimes, or bingo, or living in the moment until that moment is over.
Absolutely.
Without going down the forever road.
Yes. Now, the good mental health is at the core of the quality of your life. You could have...
You're right.
Yes, that is the core. Now, let's twist it around. If you do not have good mental health, it doesn't matter how well you are treated for your medical problems, your quality of life will suffer.
It's exactly right.
And you're likely to be non-compliant with follow-ups, non-compliant with your treatments, because if the core problem is a mental health problem, everything else just falls apart. And you're likely to get into a nursing home or an extended care facility because of the core issues that are not addressed, namely mental health.
And we know that when we go into the nursing homes, that there's an attempt sometimes for the mental health, but not to the degree that you're, because I'm getting that yours is primarily mental health.
Yes, primarily mental health.
That's the difference.
Yes, primarily mental health, and we cater to psychiatric disorders per se.
Mm-hmm. Is everything a psychiatric disorder, or some things just normal?
Well, psychiatric disorders, as I said, are extremely disabling, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what is normal and what is not normal.
All right.
As you grow older, let's say once you cross 40, 45, you are likely to have subtle memory difficulties.
Okay.
And they used to call it age-appropriate memory impairment. Mm-hmm. Now the new term is mild cognitive impairment. Mm-hmm. Now a good 30
You're
to
forgetful.
Forgetful, but a good 30 to 40% become dementia.
Yeah.
So a good
and
number.
maybe sometimes we just don't want to remember everything. I don't want to remember everything.
Well, but you know, if you say you cannot remember your address.
Yes.
If you cannot remember whether to make a right turn or a left turn.
No, that would be bad.
That would be very disabling.
Will you come back and talk to us another time when we have more time with you?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I'm nearing that place where I'm really getting loony. And so maybe if I sat down with you and we played some bingo, maybe I'd be okay.
Absolutely.
Till the end of my life. For more information, head to dthebroadcast.tv. We've got a link to the Baylor Garland Behavioral Health Center. And thank you, Dr. K.
Thank you, Susie.
You're really fun to be with. I think people would be lucky to spend some time with you.
Thank you so much,
Susie.
Susie.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Mental illness can affect anyone. Understanding the scope of mental health problems and treatment in the United States today is the first step toward success. For the Volunteer Spotlight, I'm Sherry Green.
And I'm James Green. We'll see you here next week.